What is up, guys? Today is Wednesday, September 11th, 2019. I'm going to tell you a story about the time I had a seizure from vaping this summer. This happened about 3 months ago or so, and it still affects me to this day. So you guys are clearly here because of the title of this video, right? Right off the bat, I don't want to say that I'm forcing anyone to quit vaping, sell their vape, or break their vape. I'm simply telling you a story about the scariest day of my life when I almost died because of vaping. Obviously, this is a trending topic right now. It's been brought up in the news, on social platforms. Even celebrities and politicians have had their say. And of course, there have been some stories of teenagers as well as adults being hospitalized due to vaping. The stories of 21-year-old Ricky D'Ambrosio as well as 18-year-old Sima Herman have went viral all over the internet. Sima Herman even went as far as starting a no vaping campaign with the hashtag no vaping campaign. Right here on the screen is an image of 21-year-old Ricky D'Ambrosio, which I've come across on Instagram with the caption that reads, "This is my son Ricky. He is 21 years old, loves his dog, loves to hike with friends, and unfortunately, he vaped." Wow. Just think about that for a second. She doesn't know if she will be going on a family trip with her family and son, or planning his funeral. That's sad. Right here is another article I found about Ricky, and this is from the news, not from Instagram, so don't say it's BS. Ricky D'Ambrosio, 21, is in the hospital in Roseville fighting for his life. His family told CBS 13 he's there because he vaped. Now they want to share his story with the hopes that it stops others from doing the same. "He has a heart of gold, that's all I can say," said Caitlin D'Ambrosio. She rushed home from college Monday. Her mom, Christy, called to tell her her brother Ricky was in the hospital and wasn't doing well. "I got here as soon as I could, and we've been here ever since. Doctors didn't know what was wrong at first. They tested Ricky for an infection." Christy said her son had been vomiting for 5 days. "The antibiotics that would be used for the infection are not working." Caitlin eventually gave doctors the information they needed. She told them Ricky vapes. Ricky was an acute respiratory failure, now officially linked to vaping. They decided to paralyze him, put him in a coma, and let him just rest. Christy says she feels helpless seeing Ricky this way. "As a mom, this is so hard," she said. "I look at that bed and I see him as a little boy and the little boy that I raised. But now the Loomis teacher wants to educate others about the real dangers of vaping before it's too late." Vaping is so new, there are no real studies out there, there's no real research, whether he makes it through or not. Kids need to know this is a real possible outcome. It can happen to anyone. Ricky's family was saying they're not sure if he will recover. He's been on steroids for over 24 hours. In the meantime, his family said that if they can save at least one life by telling his story, it means they accomplished something. Likewise, that's what I'm trying to do with this video. Before I tell you my story, I want to quickly go over Sima's story in a little bit more detail. Right here is an image of Sima Herman, an 18-year-old that has went into a coma because of vaping. Sima Herman, 18, was left fighting for her life just 2 weeks ago after her lungs failed and she could no longer breathe on her own. It's just these small things that we take for granted. We could breathe normally, we're healthy. It took 48 hours for my lungs to fail, which led to me being put on a ventilator. This is all because of vaping. Vaping is advertised as healthier than smoking, which is false. I agree. And right here is an image of Sima with a sign on a piece of paper that says, "I want to start a no vaping campaign." The doctors didn't think I was going to make it, but with prayers from family and friends, I pulled through after almost a week on a ventilator. No one thinks this will happen to them. Neither did I. Neither did she. This is why we both kept vaping. The dangers of vaping are real, and this can happen to you. And her family were told to prepare for the worst as she was hooked up for a ventilator. That's horrible. Myself, as well as Sima, want you to take action. Tell anyone you know that vapes. And just because something serious has not happened to you or someone you know, doesn't mean it won't. Did I think it will? Nope. Did she think it will? Nope. Did Ricky think so? Nope. If anyone needs anyone to talk to about this, Sima says you can reach out to her. You can reach out to me as well. And make sure we don't let vaping win. Take back your life and let's end vaping. It's just not worth it, honestly. As well, in the US, 2 people have died. That number is actually up to 6 now, due to vaping related illnesses. And as much as 215 people, that number now up to 300, have shown up to hospital with breathing issues. Now it's time for the story you've all been waiting for. My story. So this was about 3 months ago from the time of this recording. I was driving to work with one of my friends and everything was fine, you know? Then all of a sudden I started to get this weird feeling in my heart. It felt as if my heart was skipping a beat, as they would say. In this moment, I couldn't feel my heart beating, as you normally wouldn't, right? Unless you were to listen closely to it or feel it by putting your palm over your heart. And then out of nowhere, I just felt my heart like beat really absurdly just once or twice, and it did not feel normal. I would almost jump out of my seat while driving. Like, it was shocking, it was terrifying. So we eventually got to work. I parked the car and then we went over to a Starbucks to grab some food and drinks. I didn't really think much of it. You know, I was telling my friend about it. We started making some jokes about it. I left my water bottle at home that day. So he was also like, yeah, you also left your heart at home. And yeah, we were just making fun of it, you know, having fun. We got to Starbucks and then it happened again. So I knew something was up. But at the same time, I have had this feeling, which I call heart palpitations. I've had it in the past, I'd say about a year or 2 ago. So I thought just the same thing again, you know? I'm like, it will go away on its own. And then I went to work and after about 5-10 minutes or so, I started to feel dizzy. And as I was about to tell my manager, I passed out. I woke up about 20 seconds, 30 seconds later, and I texted my friend, I let him know what happened. Yeah, so texted him and I was like, yo bro, I just passed out. I had a seizure. So I was telling him I might go to the hospital now. And then he's like, say wallahi bro, like don't cap about this. You know, like this stuff's serious, like don't play around with it. And then I'm like, nah wallahi, you know, which means like I swear to God. He's like, WTF, like what? And I'm like, yeah, work's gonna call my parents. He's like, are you going to a hospital? I'm like, yeah, ambulance is coming, gonna pick me up. And you know, I was just chilling, waiting for the ambulance. It's like, how long do you pass out for? Is everything good? Like, yeah, like 20-30 seconds or so. Like, that's what my coworkers told me, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good right now. My heart's doing the same weird thing, but not as much. So I guess it's kind of good. I don't know. He's like, I thought you were kind of gassing it up, you know? You said your heart was doing that. Like, I didn't think nothing of it. And he's like, did you feel you were gonna pass out or you just passed out? I'm like, nah, it just happened. I just passed out on the spot. And if you know my friends, man, they're always saying something. Guy said, free my guy. Oh my God. I'm like, bro, it ain't time for that. Honestly, one of the scariest days of my life. After the ambulance came, they put me on stretcher on the bed. I honestly thought I was gonna die that day. Like, you never know, like, just give me a sec. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm trying to hold myself together. You never know how it feels. You don't know. Being in this position sends a shock through your body, mentally, physically. I was praying nothing was serious. When the ambulance arrived, I was doing fine for a few minutes, and then I passed out again. When people hear about these vaping stories, they think it will never happen to them. That's exactly how I felt. You think it won't happen to you until it does. The next few days, I was on bed rest, staying hydrated, trying to recover. I was eating healthier, doing more cardiovascular activities. I was sleeping close to 14 hours a night for the following week or so. It was a real eye-opening experience for me. It was life-changing. It affected me drastically, both mentally and physically. Going to work after this happened reminded me of what happened at work, as well as the route that I would take driving to work. Just send me down memory lane. It would make me anxious every day. I tried to fight it off and not think about it. It's been tough. It was tough. This experience has shocked me. That's why I waited so long before making this video. I'm not making this video for sympathy from anyone. I'm making this video to show you the truth about vaping. Vaping's a real problem, not a joke. If you can quit, I'd highly recommend you do so now, sooner rather than later, because you never know. Could be too late. Tomorrow could be too late. But the main point behind this video is that everyone needs to know how dangerous vaping is. You never think it will happen to you until it does. Thank you to those of you who have sent in your clips or pictures. Let's start a campaign. Hashtag cancel vaping. Please support me and the cancel vaping movement.